be afraid, I am with you. I have called you each by name. Come and follow me, I will bring you home. I love you and you are mine. I am strength for all that is sparing, healing for the ones who dwell in shame. All the blind will see, the lame will go run free, and all will know my name. I love you and you are mine. Please be seated. You feel the world is tumbling down on you, and you have known that you can hold on to. Just taste the rising sun, and you'll see hope, and there's no need to run. Lift up
It was also in my early college years that I started to have girlfriends. But those relationships were not serious, since it has been an echoing reminder of my father to help my brothers and sister finish their studies before I will settle down. So I am very conscious not to commit false moves towards my girlfriends and broke the promise to my parents. Never in my wild imagination that someday one of my exes will become my other half. It started like a casual meeting when she visited our place during her vacation, which is also the hometown of her mother, now my mother-in-law. She stayed for a couple of weeks and gave me an ample time to court her and won her heart until the time has come for her to leave, since summer vacation is over. She was in Cagayan de Oro and I am in Bohol. We have a long-distance relationships, and they called it LDR as the new generation. At that time, our only means of communication is through love letters. No cell phone, no internet at the time. We exchanged letter at least once a month until time has come that we felt bored of the situation and eventually broke up. We part ways and pursue our dreams to become successful of our dream professions. Few years later, I got my license as an electrical engineer. Sometime also I hear that she was already a CPA. I continue my life journey. I try my luck to work as an OFW, and after completing my 2-year contract, I returned home looking for a new opportunity. It was then the time that I stayed in Manila to apply for a new employment abroad. And coincidentally, one of my friends, which happened to be her cousin, lives in the same household. We were told me that Emma was also in Manila to finish her second course as a physical therapist. Without further ado, I asked him to bridge us and arrange a schedule to meet and greet. To make the story short, we met once again after a period of 10 long years and find ourselves wanting the same to try another chance to put ourselves in a serious relationship and to settle down finally, since we are both prepared, and at that time we were already 31 years old. It seemed everything filled the missing pieces of the puzzle, though it took years to complete. Finally, we say our vows to be one with our God for better and for worse, till death He make us apart. It was God's will, and we call it destiny. We just follow the flow of the stream wherever He leads us. Another chapter of our life closed as singles, and open another as husband and wife. Started. And I quote, "Do not be afraid, for she was set apart for you before the world was made. You will save her, and she will go with you. I presume that you will have children by her, and they will be as brothers to you." Tobias chapter 6, verse 18.
Every summer, Nani sends her children to Bohol for vacation to ensure that they do not forget their roots and for them to know their relatives. It was during vacation that Emma came to know this certain boy who serenaded her in one of those nights. This boy became close only for that summer. When the vacation was over, the high school affair as well ended. While in the revenue service, Emma went to pass the CPA exam and worked as an auditor and then later as a tax examiner. While in the revenue service, She was moving around the country and it was difficult to find a permanent relationship. She proceeded to study physical therapy with an aim to stay in the US to earn dollars. The goal was, if not to find someone.
As a normal family life, we experienced many ups and downs, especially when we were still adjusting to each other's character and attitude. We live our life where we can give what our children want. Though at the time we did not have our own dream house yet, because at the time our assignments were moving from one place to another. We have our own car, we have two households that help take care of our household needs. We live a life of material abundance. It came time I entered into politics, as my father urged me to replace him, as he is already old. He was a known political figure in our locality, and after retiring as a school principal. I was elected for 2 times as municipal councilor in our town, while Emma was assigned back in Cagayan de Oro as a tax examiner in the Bureau of Internal Revenue. During those days, we experienced life as what we wanted to live, and as an ordinary faithful, we practiced also attending Mass every Sunday. There was a point in our lives that we feel there is an emptiness deep inside, and something is not correct. And our conscience told us to do something before it is late. During this experience, not only twice or thrice, that I dreamed that I was reunited and happily working again with my previous workmates when I was working abroad. For me, it was not a big deal since we were already happily living in our present life. And I quote, "For what will profit them if they gain the whole world but forfeit their life?" Matthew chapter 16, verse 26.
Back in the revenue service, I lead a life of material abundance and easy come and easy go financials. I became the family's provider because my earning was comfortable. I have built good relations with colleagues, with both superiors and subordinates, and I was technically an expert in my work. And I quote, "Not that we are competent of ourselves to claim anything as coming from us. Our competence is from God." 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 5. It did not take long for people in authority to recognize my capacity, and tax cases assigned to my desk were not confined to my area of assignment, but rather I move around Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Because of constant travel, I am often out of sight as my children grew, and it was Undo who filled the space for the children. Naturally, he is the anchor and the kids' emotional and intellectual support, while I source out the family finances.
Moving a little way forward, it seems that something needs to be examined once again and has to be mitigated before our children were already growing up. All of a sudden, in a place nowhere, an international call registered in my phone, and on the other end is my long-lost cousin, whom we had shared good old days when I was working abroad. He asked me if I am interested to work again abroad, this time in Qatar. It was in 2008. At the beginning, I'm not so interested. As I said, what I am looking for when I have a good life here, living together with my family. He tried to convince me with a compensation package and benefits offered by his company, the way of living and the urgency of the position being hired. He said he will call a week later to know if I am interested. In this period, Ima and I try to seek God's guidance of what really His purpose if I answer the call to work again abroad and detach ourselves to the present life we have. And I quote, "Teach me to do your will, for you are my God. Let your good spirit lead me in a little path." Psalms chapter 143, verses 10 to 11. At this point, we understand that God
As a courtesy to those praying inside the chapel, and that alienated feeling of being in the wrong place, I stepped back away from the chapel, and that so I may not disturb them as I was still on my phone talking. After a few steps, I closed the deal. So, meron na naman akong perang marami, and dropped the call. I turned around, and in front of me, I saw the horizon, the sea and the sky meeting each other. I felt the hair at the tip of my head standing up, and my body goosebumped till the tip of my toes. In a wink of an eye, as I watch over the horizon, I can see my life before me. My birth, my school days, my summer vacations, my parents' hardships, and later on, financial blessings.
Nawa po ay magdulot po ito ng tuwa at kagalakan sa bawat isa. Lalo po, nalalapit na po ang darating na, nalalapit na po, darating pa. Yeah. Kaya po, ganun po talaga yung Holy Spirit eh. Talagang continuous po yung flow. Kaya po, para po sa lahat, pag-December na po, ihanda nyo na po yung mga pitaka nyo. Alams na. Hindi po. Ito po yung usually ginagawa sa December. Hindi po.